I believe I can hear you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Olga, and welcome to a new event from Data Zen Community. Data Zen Community is a place where our expert speakers talk about their experience, the tasks they are facing every day, and the most popular technologies and interesting news from the world of data. Our guest today is Artem Nikulin. He is a data quality engineer, and we will discuss what does it actually mean and how to become one of them. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them, and we will discuss them as well. Hello, Artem. How are you today?
Hi there. I would say not bad. I can't complain. What about you?
I'm also well, thank you. Well, tell us please about yourself. You are data quality engineer, and what is
Yep.
your current role at the project? What do you do every day?
Yes, you're right. I'm a data quality engineer, and currently I'm a part of the team that builds something like data lake analytics system in cloud. We're using AWS. And we are working for retail and kind of distribution company. And as data quality engineer, I and my teammates, we are responsible for data quality first of all, and general application functionality, I would say. And in a few words, our application process information that is gathered from different sources, transforms it, and based on variety of calculations, um, it helps our stakeholders and end users make some business decisions, I would say. And mm, to recap, my main part of work is to ensure that user data complies with business requirements and expectations.
So your project is about big data, right? And there are a
Yeah.
lot of data directions and like data science, data engineer, and are there any connections between them and data quality engineer, or is it different?
Uh, yeah, for sure. The most common thing I would say is data, and all of us dealing with data. But I would say it's the main difference is how we look at data. Uh, for instance, for data quality engineers, and for me, the main focus is data quality. I mean, we're looking for kind of uh, discrepancies. We're concerned about all data transformations. We are concerned about its processing. We aware about missing data. We don't want to miss any row, any data. And in another hand, for data scientists, it's a kind of different type of analysis. They main look at data as a source for making some forecasts, predictions, or they used data as source for building different reports, calculations for business and end users as well. And based on those calculations, they can make some decisions, or they can predict some behavior of their users and etc. It's what I mean is that it's different type of view and using of data. Yes, and for sure, one more common part I would say is data warehouses, its basics, and SQL. Yeah.
So I see that you're all it's all about data, but
Yeah.
data quality engineer provides makes sure that the data is correct, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it will be used
It's the
then
main point.
by data scientists. And what other tasks do you perform during your workday? Does data quality engineer have to know how to code?
Um, yeah, for sure. But how to say, in advance, I might say that our routine pieces of work are not always about coding. I, I have a quantitative with opinion that 8 hours of our work were coding, but it's not so. Uh, and I would say it's not so for any role. I believe even for developer. And the reason is uh, the step of preparation for any task, since you need to realize what you are going to verify, what you are going to code, and you need to be in the loop of requirements. I mean, how you will code, how you will verify, what is your scope of work, and to answer for all these questions, you need to operate with documentation, and moreover, you need to prepare your own. As data quality engineer, you need to understand and you need to operate with test strategy, test plans, checklists, test cases. All these documentations are going near us, and we need to be aware about all this.
So you mentioned the test cases and the test use, and does it mean that it's something like software engineering testing or automation and testing? Is it the same?
Um, I would say it's not the same, but we have some common and some mutual stuff. Uh, you know, the crucial difference from my perspective, yeah, also in the world data, since we are closer to data quality, to data sources, to data transformations, and software testing engineers, they are closer to features functionality, general application functionality. Uh, what I mean is, just imagine a display that can show text, and its main function to display text. And for software testing engineer, in this case, it's more crucial that display can show the text. And for data quality engineer, the crucial thing is what is the text that it shows. It's but we need to remember that anyway it's just a title, and it depends on certain projects, certain specialists, and their skills. I mean, to be honest, from time to time we can pick up uh, some tasks from each other. It's not a big deal, I would say. But
I, s-
for sure there is some difference, and difference is in data.
I see. So there is something in common, but in general, it's data quality engineer is more about data, and you need to know SQL, right, and
Yep,
warehouses
yep, totally.
and
You're
from
right.
your experience, what do you think? How popular and how high in demand is this area? I mean, data quality
Um,
engineering.
okay. Let's let's have a small discussion with it. How much data each of us use in our everyday lives? I mean, it's so much data around us, and just imagine that all that data is processed and for sure verified by someone. And so as much data any person consumes, as much work we have, and it's pretty popular, I would say.
I see where you're going, right? The amount of data is increasing every day,
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
amounts are huge, and someone needs to verify
yeah,
all this data, right? So
yep, totally.
I guess there will always be a need for data quality engineer. And what is data quality in general? Like how you define it in for a person who doesn't know anything
uh
about it.
Tricky one. Oh, it's kind of indicator that, um, how to say, reflects how reliable a given data or a given data set is. uh, in other words, it's a set of activities that can ensure that you can use this data for your certain purposes. It's about value of data. Is it possible to use this data to predict some behavior or predict some activities in future, make some forecasts? It's about data quality.
Looks like it could be crucial, for
Yeah,
business
yeah,
to have data of the best
you're
quality.
right.
And
Yes.
can you talk about some real problems that poor data quality can lead to?
uh, I would say it might be a simple example. All of us, we all use navigators, yes. And just imagine if we get data with kind of incorrect or inaccurate coordinates, yep, about our location. So I mean, we will get gaps in our path estimation time. I don't know. And okay, it's if it's small ambiguity or discrepancy, but let's imagine if we are talking about not just simple navigator, we're talking about, I don't know, uh, bank account. Yeah, and let's imagine that you pay $5 for some product, but uh, from your account you lost €5. Yep. And what if it's not five? If it 5,000? But and the data is similar but different types, I would say, since different currencies. And so bad quality might be too nasty. And all this discrepancy, it's about data quality, and it's about complying with business requirements. It's about uh, requirements. Yes.
Yeah, I see. So looks like data quality issues can be very nasty, as you said. And
Yeah.
since it's so important, I guess there are already some tools which can be used to check data quality. Can you talk about this? Can you tell us what tools exist already and what do you use at your project, probably?
um, you know um, in my opinion, the best tool or framework is that you have written by your own. Yeah,
Oh.
since yeah, since it makes you flexible, but you need to spend time, and in some cases it's faster and more convenient to use existing frameworks or kind of tools. And there are a range of tools that are open source, such as DQ, Great Expectation, Vividus. And also there are some commercial tools as well. Yes, but I will not announce them because I'm sure they didn't pay us for advertisement. But if they are watching, then reach out to us. Yeah, there are some, and I use uh, for different purposes. I use different tools in my routine work, and it's about PyDQ, yeah, DQ, and it's about Selenium, it's about Python, yeah, and etc.
And you were talking about writing code yourself.
Yeah.
So that does it mean that you customize these existing frameworks when you use them? So is it possible, just take it from the box and use it as it is, or you need to customize and
Uh,
adjust it?
yeah, it's so so many customers and even users want to have kind of magic box
Yeah.
that will solve all your issues and will check everything. But uh, I would say fortunately we don't have such boxes. And but it's always kind of mixing. You use for some general activities, you use open source um, tools or frameworks. And for complicated business logic, you add some variety of other libraries or other tools, and you try to glue on it one to another. And yeah, it's always kind of, we are in the middle of using each tool or each framework, since we try to find out the best solution for our certain project. Yes.
Looks kind of interesting. It looks like you always need have something where you can grow and improve, right? So and there is some place for creating something, not just doing some dull tasks every day. And I would say this IT field looks interesting. And what if I want to become a data quality engineer? Imagine I'm already a functional quality engineer. We have this question in the chat. How can I grow to data quality engineer from software testing?
um, okay, if we're talking about someone who already work with EPAM, am I right?
Mm,
Or just in
I can't
general?
see it in the chat, unfortunately.
Okay, so you can, uh, for sure, you need to deepen your knowledge in warehouse. You need to be aware about Python, and I would recommend such libraries as Pandas, PySpark, uh, PyTest. If we're talking about test automation, you need to be aware about um, Selenium, and about behavior driven testing, different types of testing. Also, it's great to have understanding about CI/CD process, and about cloud for sure. There are so many, I would say, free courses that you can use to deepen your knowledge, and you need to, you need to deepen your knowledge in way of data. And so it means that it's great to have skills that help you operate with data.
So to sum up, you need to dwell on warehouses and how they are built and
Yes.
how the data is kept in them. And what languages do you suggest? What languages are must have for data quality engineer? I mean coding.
I would say the most popular is Python, since it's so it's flexible for our purposes, and there are so, I would say, huge variety of different tools and frameworks that you can mix and use in your everyday life. As I mentioned, I'm talking about DQ, PySpark, Pandas, and there are so many other libraries and tools in Python that you can use. So I would
And
recommend Python.
yeah,
Yes.
and what about old good SQL? Do you still need to know it, or is
Uh,
it not in use anymore?
definitely, you need to deepen your SQL knowledge as well. You need to It's great when you know how to select data, but in some cases, you need to be know about Windows function. You know to be how to analyze data by just SQL. And you need to have ability to perform some analysis even without pandas, only by using SQL.
So
That's
SQL
also,
is still must have for working with
yeah,
data.
yep, you're
I
right.
get you. And what about other popular languages like Java, Scala? What would you recommend? Or Python would be enough.
I would say, as much as you know, as greater you are. It's not exclusive. Python and Scala. It's great. So, but for first steps, I would say Python is pretty enough. Python is so huge also.
And if going away from technical details, so what character traits do you think a data quality specialist should have? Is it true that you should be like a perfectionist to go to the queue? What do you
uh,
think?
oh, okay. From my point of view, data quality engineer need to be curious. I mean, you need to like puzzles. I would say you need to be diligent, and it's about communication. I would say you need to uh, like communication, since it's also about data quality. We have uh, deep communication level inside our team. Data quality engineer need to contribute or with developers, with business analysts, and you need to partner up even with stakeholders. From time to time, you need to perform some demo sessions. You need to make decisions. That's why it's kind of all customers want to have automation. But is it reasonable to use automation? And you as a person who is going to investigate this solution and make decision. It's about
So
you.
looks like soft skills are also great to have for data quality
For
engineer. Is
sure.
there a lot of communication
Yes.
between the team, right? And
Yeah, I would say more. Even it's you need to be kind of person that uh, if you ask data quality engineer and they don't really know the answer, they will say it's not a big deal. You can say I don't know the answer, but what you need to know is how to find the answer. And I bet that data quality engineer will find the answer. Yeah, it's kind of a bit perfectionist in good meaning.
okay, let us say I like it. I think I have all the qualities. I have soft skills, and I've learned some SQL. You already kind of covered, but could you go more deeper into my first steps? Let us say I've decided I want to become data quality engineer. Should I watch some video on YouTube like data quality in 1 hour? Is it possible? Or should you, or maybe you can recommend some particular courses?
Yeah, definitely. I would recommend EPAM, Internal Data Engineering Lab. And I would say that you will obtain not only kind of theoretic knowledge, but you will obtain practical experience as well. And you will get some real examples from real projects. And it's great opportunity to become a data quality engineer. And also it's great if there are so many free courses, and if you can uh, how to say study by your own, it's okay, but I would recommend uh, go through the data engineering lab.
And what are the criteria to get to the data engineering lab? Is it are there some interviews? Do I need some experience to get into the lab? Could you dwell more about the process of getting to it?
um, the experience is not necessary, uh, but some knowledge you need to have. Some theoretical knowledge is required. But great news is that you can participate in kind of another basic courses that will help you. And it's not kind of interview. It's just a friendly talk. Uh, some specialist will talk with you, and you don't need to code. You don't need to perform kind of complicated tests. All that you need is just to describe why you want to enroll and just show and demonstrate what you already know, and you need to explain your goal or your purpose of enrolling. Yeah, and why they just want to find out how you think, what is your goal. Yes.
So you have to be motivated and prove it to
Yes.
that
Yes.
you have enough motivation to live through this
Yep. Yep.
lab.
Yeah. Since it's not easy, I would say in advance that it's not a relaxing course where you just watch some lections and that's all. No, it's great scheduled, uh, great organized, and it has really tight deadlines, I would say.
And what exactly do they study? Can you tell us some more details about the learning process, about the topics you covered?
Uh, okay, there are introduction to data warehousing. You will obtain knowledge about types, differences, objects, about ETL process. You will deepen your knowledge in SQL. Also, it's about quality assurance model and software development lifecycle as well, since it's great if you know how to code, or it's great if you know how to perform some activities, but if you don't know what is um, kind of development life cycle and how to partner up or cooperate with other teammates, it's a bit difficult for you. And of course, it's about data quality model and automation model. Uh, Oh, and what is great, you will get what is the cloud, and even more, you will touch some functionality, some features. You will perform home tasks, real practical home tasks. And one more thing is that you have a project stage. It's kind of the last step of data engineering lab, and on this stage you will work as a real team member, and it's really great opportunity to touch how real projects are going. Yes.
So you mentioned the software development cycle, and we have a question in our chat. It's maybe kind of off the topic of a lab, but it's interesting. At your project, data quality tasks, are they integrated into CI/CD pipelines? That was the question from the chat. So is
uh, okay. My current project is on MVP stage. That's why we don't integrate it in CI/CD, but it's just for this stage. In future, we're going to integrate it, and I hope we will perform it. Yes.
Thank you. And returning to the lab, your lab experience, you have a project, pre-project stage, right?
Yeah.
And what are your chances to get to the real project, to get job after this lab? Are they 100% if you are finished all the tasks and passed all the tests? What would you say?
Um, I would say that it's not about some guarantees. It's not about, no one will ensure you that if you go through all steps, you will get uh, some project like after right tomorrow. Yeah, but I might say that that lab give you all that you need to join to project as a junior specialist. Yeah, but it depends on variety of circumstances, since you know perhaps you are a person who want to go in different I don't know way. It depends on you. There are some, but as I said, you will get all that you need to get a real project.
But from your experience, like what are the chances? Like 100%, 80%, or like 50-50? Encourage our listeners.
I would say 99.
Oh, wow,
Is it
that's
pretty
very
enough?
optimistic. Yes.
Yeah.
And during your study at the lab and your work, there's also a question from the chat. Do you need knowledge of statistics or like deep knowledge of mathematics? What would you say?
I would say it will totally help you, but it depends on certain projects, certain tasks. I would say that if we're talking about general activities and it's not required, but it's good to have.
It will help you, right? If you have
Yeah,
this.
totally. If you had it, if you have it, it's totally will help you. But
But
it's
if you,
not required.
so
It's
no
not.
one will ask some,
Yes,
certificate.
yeah, 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 yeah. Totally.
I think as another question that we haven't covered, you mentioned Selenium somewhere earlier in the interview, and the question is, how is Selenium involved in data quality? How do you use
Uh,
it?
okay. As I said, in some project, our data might be used for kind of dashboards, reports, and etc. And we need to ensure that data that we have in our data warehouse or in our source uh, displays in correct way on our kind of reports or dashboards. And if we're talking about kind of web applications, it's a way to verify it by using Selenium. But it's one more point about data quality engineering expertise. Uh, you know, you need to be aware about some kind of front end stuff as well. I mean, what is HTML, CSS, XPaths, regex, but it's not required. But it will help you totally if you will meet some task that is related um, with some front end activities and verification of data that uh, displayed on kind of different reports.
I think we've answered the question. And so you can, data quality engineer, y- and do they always use Selenium or it's just one of the tools that it can be used, right?
I would say one off.
One of the tools.
One off, yes. If we're talking about tools, I would say Vividus, Robot Framework, Unit Test, PyTest, so many, really many frameworks that you can use.
Do you have any favorite ones? And what technologies do you use at your project? Like, is it cloud? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Maybe you covered. Mhm.
yes. We are using AWS, and uh, most of if we're talking about SQL queries, most of them I execute with Athena, and for my uh, for my own purposes, I use Pandas in Python and PySpark. And since in some ways it helps me to uh, make some preparation, I would say, to make some to seek out incorrect data, to seek out some dependencies. And yes, Pandas, I would say Pandas is, from my perspective, is most accurate for these purposes.
I see. And as I know, Pandas is very well liked by data scientists. And it's again a question in our chat. We covered it at the beginning, but maybe we'll just again sum up the difference between data engineering, data science, and data quality. It looks like it's a question someone was kind of late and didn't hear you, but
No
we can
worries.
repeat it, right? Yeah.
Yes, no worries. As I said, it's kind of, or it's just different. You know, we have much common things that we are doing in our everyday life, but from my perspective, the main difference is in our view at data. For data quality engineer, data, the main in data is its quality, and data scientists use data that we have already verified to predict some business, uh, some forecast for business. They are using this verified data for business purposes, I would say so, or to generate some reports that can help business or can help end users. Uh, it's about different approach of using data. I
So we,
hope you
ye-
understand what I mean.
yeah, I totally get you. It's like working with data from different angles, let us
Yeah,
say.
I would say in that way, what is the difference between Java developer and Python developer? They both are developers, but a different approach of performing routine work. They are using just different languages, and there we have the same thing, I would say, in appropriate way. Yeah.
I think we've covered already all the questions that we have in the chat so far, and it's our usual question. If not data quality engineer, who would you become? Who do you want to be?
Oh, I'm going to say surgeon. It's a medicine. I respect them. Yeah.
That's very challenging. Is the
Yes.
work of data quality engineer as hard as the work of surgeon? You scare
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. But currently I'm here and I really keen on what I'm doing. And one more time, I would recommend data quality. Uh, I would say department, data department, and I would recommend data engineering lab, since it's great and real opportunity to operate with new technologies, new tools, and it's great opportunity to study something new all the time.
Thank you. So to sum up, I think that the data quality engineer is, it's something about data. It has, you can get to it without deep learning of how to code, right? You don't need to be a developer to become a data quality engineer. So looks like a person from non-IT area can jump to it, at least can make an attempt to become a data quality engineer, right?
Yeah, it's possible, and I would say more. I'm uh, I am the person who just one day have decided to change life, and I just have jumped in IT, and yeah,
So no,
it's possible.
no regrets, I hope.
Totally now.
Well, thank you, Artem, for your talk. It was very interesting, and I hope uh, we answered some questions about data quality and how to get into it. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Please follow us on our social media: YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and don't miss our new events. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.